Hello. Hello. I wonder, let me see something, where the mic is coming from. Because sometimes, I don't know. All right, I don't know. Anyways, hello. My name is Miladies. Your spirit shifter here, guiding you on your journey towards self awareness. And today I'm here with something different, right? I got a little bit of anxiety uh, going ahead of time speaking about this full moon in Gemini. And I have a full moon in Gemini. And so my spirit team was like, you know what? Begin to start talking about the full moon after, because it's in a space where we are doing a review, seeing what worked and what didn't work. And then we're pretty much either dumping, revising, and all those things. And so my appearance here is to hold space for those of us who are shifting through this, are actually paying attention, and kind of tend to forget what the hell has been happening. That when we get to the stage, we're like, oh shit, yeah, I remember I manifested this during the Scorpio new moon, or during the eclipse this happened. So yeah, I'm gonna be sharing a bit more about the full moon, just so that you guys can understand a little bit on how to patch and puzzle things together. Okay, so this edition is going to be called After the Full Moon, right? It's a And when you begin to look at it, the full moons begin to support each other. There's a full moon in Cancer coming up. I got my notes right here. December 26th. Cancer, is connected to our emotions, right? Gemini was connected to our communication. So when this full moon in Gemini came through, it put us in a space of recognizing how we're speaking to ourselves, and also what are we choosing to let go of when it comes to how we speak to ourselves and how others speak to us, in addition to other things that had happened, which was basically we had the square of Neptune during this time, and the square of the Neptune was putting us in a space of recognizing what was an illusion, right? And so by us being in that space, we start to remove veils, just start seeing things for what they are. And when we see things for what they are, it puts us in a space of, oh shit, I have to make a decision right now whether if I want to continue to be in this space or to bounce once things are revealed to you. And so it puts you in a space of having to make at times quick actions, or that's what you feel. Nonetheless, there's times where we just have to look at things, see them for what they are, and begin to create steps to exit rather than to do quick things. Sagittarius at this current time has us in a space of the new me, and my new story, which is also true. But many of us have not allowed ourselves to grieve a lot of things to be able to move to the next step. So are you allowing yourself to grieve? What have you been focusing on during this time? We had the full moon eclipse in Taurus on the 28th of October. We had the new moon in Scorpio November 13th. Then we had this full moon in Gemini the 27th. All of that is happening. When the new moon came in, it created a space for us to see ourselves into the next 6 months, right? And then when it comes to Scorpio, it's our tendency on how we work with people, money, work. Right, all right, I'm hearing that too. What's that called? When somebody leaves you money, inheritance. inheritance. Like all these different things are happening during the new moon in Scorpio. So we have this new moon happening, getting our emotions down packed and seeing how we want to experience our emotions and our intuition and all those mystical parts for those of us who dove into Scorpio on the more mystical aspect. And then here comes Gemini's full moon rocking shit. The new moon has us in a space of like, we got this. Then the full moon is like, nah, bitch, you ain't got it. You ain't got it. You know what I mean? What's going on? And that's when we begin to start seeing the friction. But it's also putting us in a space of knowing that you're recognizing there's other energies assisting you to maneuver through what you're going through. So grounding at this time is very important. At the beginning of, not the beginning, last year around this time, I gave where the Mercury retrogrades was going to be for this year. And I'm not sure if anybody noticed, but all the retrogrades have been in earth signs. Now is when it's shifting, and it's going to start in Sagittarius, go to Capricorn, and then come back. So allow yourself to breathe. All right. Hey, Tracy. Allow yourself to breathe. Gemini was fucking with our left and our right side of the brain. It was like Gemini is both sides of the brain. So our intuitive side and our logical side were fighting, right? No, don't do that right now. You don't have the finances for it. It's okay. I got creative things to do. I can see myself doing something better. No, but you got to pay this bill and that bill. Don't say this. Don't. So we were there. The main important thing is to, first and foremost, ground, right? I had a lot, like a whole list one like that in my head. So that's why I had to pause. I was like, hold up, spirit. You ground yourself. And once you ground yourself, some people love to do the pros and cons list. What are the pros and cons of not speaking to this person anymore? Fuck it. I don't care about the pros and cons. Chill out. Right? Because we don't want to burn bridges either. You understand? So Gemini also gave us that mindset of knowing that you are choosing yourself, but also recognizing that you don't want to burn your bridges, right? You also have Mercury, who is now going to be moving into Capricorn, that was in Sagittarius. And during that time, Mercury was also in that space of being on that free-spirited mind, that open mindset, that mindset that was allowing you to see where you could be. Now that has happened, you recognized the people that you may not want to interact with anymore. Right? One of the things that I went down memory lane with friendships without comparing, right? This is another thing, that comparing aspect. You may not ever find a person like that as a friend. So when you moving into new situations, let's try to stay away from, oh, you remind me of this friend. Oh, let's look at the person for who they are. Because then now our brain always has to associate something with something so that it can be like, oh, okay, I get it. Start a new canvas. Even if the person does remind you of somebody else, that's bringing that old memory back, right? And what we think we forgot is still there. So it's really important for us to really ground ourselves and to really let the veils fall off. You know how at times it's best to really see things for what it is? Staying to your fucking self. Staying to yourself a little bit. Or when you're around somebody, just observing them. It's really important to do those things. And then that's called active listening. When you just sit there and observe somebody, that's active listening. And so the other thing about this full moon, what it brought was like a deep focus on what is the truth, right? The truth for you, because everybody has a different truth. But what's the truth for you? And there was a deep focus on that, and we was really sitting there thinking about that. And then, of course, like I said, going back and forth. We also had that square. So there was whoever was in Pisces, which was Neptune and Saturn, both had this fight with the rest of the planets. So you might have been that person. You and somebody else was against other people around this time, or maybe you just there was a pair of something happening in your life, and was not. You could have been at your Thanksgiving party, and it was you and your cousin just sitting there looking at observing the whole family because y'all the woke ones, right? So, with that being said, you had the moon, Mars, and the sun all fighting Saturn. And Saturn was just in a space of like, we're not starting this karma again. It's time to choose. Do you want to repeat the cycle? So that even talks about going deep into your psyche, deep down into your psyche. And that's what Scorpio had done for us. So whatever you were doing in the last 2 weeks, because we just left Scorpio seasons. In the last 2 weeks, whatever you were doing, how deep you were going, those traumas that were surfacing, that's the focus. And I know you like, shit, nah, you bugging. That's not the focus, right? That trigger. Whatever showed up is the focus. Can you open yourself up to allow other people to assist you if it's that heavy? Because this full moon in Cancer is coming up, and that's going to be in the space of us discussing our emotions and how we are going to emotionally be treating ourselves from this point on. Are you emotionally going to beat yourself up all the time when it's not the love of your life? Or are you going to continue to say, I'm not meant to be with anybody, I'm supposed to be by myself type of energy? Right? That's the mindset that is being highlighted to release because it's blocking us. Not just relationship, but also your credentials. A lot of us feel that because we don't have this, we can't do this. There has been scientists out there that never, ever in their life went to school or did anything in that particular area. I would encourage you to begin to do research in the desires that you would like to see come into fruition in your life, and see how those people are living. See how they're managing whatever it is that you desire from that energy. Whether if it's right, many of us want to be millionaires. Get into the millionaire group. Oh, I don't know how. No, it's not. I don't know how. Just know that's where you want to go. I've been in situations and places, I've met people that I might have never even thought about meeting. But because my passion was fitness, I ended up doing a lot of things in fitness and met people in the fitness world that I would have never met. And I didn't write down in my manifestation book, I would like to meet. That's one thing. I do my best to leave some room for the universe to surprise me, because obviously we can if we desire to manifest our life exactly to the T. But I like to leave room for miracles. Show me that this life is a miracle, baby. And these miracles do be happening. You can just say to yourself, I'm in the winning circle. Who's the winning circle? The winning circle in your desired area of your life. Okay? So the main important thing here when it comes to this full moon and you figuring out how I'm gonna do this, when I'm gonna do it, bring it back a little bit. There's still some planets that are retrograde, right? That also is playing a part of it. Let me just go. Yeah, no, I got my notes because Neptune is in Pisces, is going to be retrograde until December 6th. So, more or less until December 6th, our view on our spirituality, on our creativity, is still going to be a bit foggy until then. Once Neptune begins to move forward, and it's not going to move forward in a rapid pace, because Neptune is one of those long-winded planets. Parents, I was going to say, it's like a fucking parent. Planets, and so once it start beginning to move forward, you have going to have a clearer picture on your spiritual side, on whatever may have been an illusion. We're going to have more clarity on that. So expect more breakthroughs. Jupiter in Taurus until December 31st, which is so dope because it really puts us in a space to know that our self-worth. Have you been focusing internally on this current time and rearranging your self-worth? Jupiter is there, and whatever we're focusing on to release when it comes to our finances, right? Have you been literally facing your finances and being like, okay, I'm going to switch this to this. I'm going to invest into this. I'm going to hold out on this. I'm going to manifest this. Have you been writing these things down? Because once Jupiter starts going direct in Taurus, we're going to see all of that beautiful outline that you created, that focus that you created on your self-worth, on your money, on your home, whatever it is going to move forward and expand. So if you invested, and you will see some type of increase depending on where you're at. Now, I'm not an investor in trade, so don't come at me with that. I'm not talking about that because I know that moves on its own. In other words, if you invested in a home and you decide to create an Airbnb or something like that in that home, that when had you focus on that during this time, that can expand for you. Okay. When it comes to those of you who stayed in tune with your fitness and your internal beauty and things like that, you're going to see the difference coming up even more. So this is what I'm saying. Hello, hello. Yes, yes, yes. I have on paper last week so that I can do. So yes, you can be debt free. I don't be wanting to tell y'all what to do, but debt free is the way to be, baby. All right. Debt free, begin to create your financial freedom. And then for those of you who are magical and enjoy candles, you fucking with your ancestors, you got your bay leaf, that shit could speed up even quicker by clearing out your ancestral bloodline. Yo, I kid you not. Some of us, y'all hear me? Some of us would enjoy the beauty of creating a business, but at times feel stuck, feel scared, feel like we're not gonna make it, scared of failure, right? Things like that. The reason why I go like that is because y'all know I'm not scared of. Well, if I haven't told you, I'm not scared of failure. So, but that to me, failure is nothing but a stepping stone to the next venture, right? Y'all know I'm a little delusional. But when you sit there and you begin to talk to those ancestors that didn't make it in the business, and let them know, like, hey, this is not your time to shine. This is my time to shine. If you didn't make it, let's clear that out for you. Bring in those that were successful, or anyone who in our bloodline that there's anybody and everybody. From when there was a crackhead, there's a successful doctor. Believe that. So if you're into that type of energy, tap into that and see what happens. My peeps know right here, they be, that ancestral work be lit. Let me tell you. And one of the main thing is, especially for those of you who with Jupiter and Taurus is focusing on abundance and you're scared of money, You scared to open your bills? Release that right now. Use this time to release that. Get a financial advisor. Go to therapy. Who's watching you? You gotta tell everybody your business. You ain't gotta tell everybody your business. It's just you. But you can let them know when you're inviting them out to eat or something. Ooh, you fancy. I've been clearing out my ancestors. I've been fixing my finances. Hold on, sorry, y'all. Why is there flies in December? Anyways. Let me drink some water. All right, so Mars is going to be in Sagittarius until next year. Mercury is also moving into Capricorn until next year. Mercury is going to be in there until the 26th of January. With Capricorn. Capricorn, I'm a Capricorn rising, and when I speak about I look like I'm all over the place at times, but when it comes to organization, if something is coming up, I can get there. So that's what Mercury is going to do. Whatever you picked up during that Mercury in Sagittarius, that energy, what you said you was open-minded and free to do. Now with that Capricorn energy, it's like, okay, let's do it. Let's get to it. And then when it goes retrograde on 12/12, what's going, and I'm going to speak about this in the December. I'm waking up tomorrow and doing the December because I like to say it's lit, right? But y'all also know I like to that ride is lit though. Buckle up. The 12/12 is going to be the Mercury retrograde, and it's going to start off in Sagittarius, and then it's going to move back to Capricorn. So there's really going to be a back and forth in what I said I was going to do and what I am going to do. And it's going to be like that. So this is why I say take your time, right? In regards to getting to the finish line. What is your finish line? Finish lines, if you want to have finish lines, have short-term goals so that you can use that as self-gratification, because we all love to finish something, right? I mean, shit, I do. I don't know about you, but I like to get accomplished and finish something. Let me get a sticker. Let me get a certification or something, right? So do short-term goals for yourself. I used to do, and I'm not encouraging y'all to do this, nonetheless, I figured out my rhythm, right? And I used to do the 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Then I started realizing I'm going to just go ahead and do it month by month for me, due to the fact that in astrology, you have 2 different type of energies occurring each month. We had that Scorpio energy, so that was that water energy. Then now we in this fire energy. Water at times dance, right? Turns off fire. I mean, sometimes fire's in water. It gets a little crazy. But nonetheless, you start recognizing the energy of Scorpio could have been so heavy if you didn't have some way to cushion and to release those strong emotions, that it's just raining on your parade in Sagittarius energy, and you just like you're not feeling that energy, you're not feeling that loose energy that Sagittarius bring, that freedom. That yes, you 2 weeks ago you was crying like a motherfucker, but baby, release, let it burn, let it dry up, let it absorb. All right. All right, then I have here, each choice has its own truth, like I expressed to y'all before. So your truth is not the other person's truth. Is it time to be convincing people? Save your energy. Do what's best for you and what works for you. People who are going to be into that are going to show up because you showing up authentically. A lot of times people worry about that. Who's going to show up? I don't know where I'm going to find these people. You do. You do. You are going to find the support group that focuses just exactly on what you desire. It's out there. Everything has already been made up. I'm not going. Everything's already out there. What we're doing is recycling with the Akashic records. Yeah, y'all love history because I love history. I'll tell y'all, we could go back. We are honestly experiencing a lot of 1700 energy, but I digress. Because I like the what was happening around this time. And if you go back around this time, exactly what's happening now is what was happening. All right. I think I wanted to share. There was one more thing. So tell me, oops, did anybody cut off anything? Did anybody recognize any illusions that they was just like, okay, that person or that place or that thing was not for me? And when I got into it, I could see that's another thing, right? Without beating up people, recognize that you made a choice to get into that space, right? So acknowledge the reality that you wanted to be there, right? And you was there, or you wanted to be connected, or you wanted to, whatever it was. And a few months later, you like, oh, yeah, no, that wasn't what I thought it was. And that's okay, but don't beat up the experience. I enjoy recognize it from a human perspective, and then I go into the spiritual perspective. But again, I'm in that space where I do that, where I recognize the human part of that, and then the experience that everyone had to have in order for us to make the decision to exit or to continue. And I know I could sound like I'm a little bit up there, but I am. I'm connected right now. And it's because a lot of times we want to blame the person for this experience that we went through. And it's just like, nah. At some point, we could have been like, some of us really do enjoy being the vessel for that experience. So also recognize that. Were you acknowledging that you was the vessel for that experience? It gets that deep. The Cancer full moon is coming up, so get ready. Our emotions are going to be rocky. This whole week, the moon was in Cancer, and that should. I know this was a moody week for a lot of people. Tomorrow is Friday. It's gonna be cool. The moon is gonna be in Leo, so Leo, my friend Leo, the moon is gonna be in your sign. Yes, and I have made peace with it. I am truly ready to receive a new opportunity in business. And see, and so now with this new moon in Sagittarius, Sagittarius is all about our new story, our new spiritual story, who we truly desire to be, and getting to that energy. Not caring about what anybody's saying, not caring what I don't care what you're doing, I'm gonna do this. And just recognizing that, and I say this to people all the time, there's two Dunkin' Donuts apart from each other in New York City in every block. You think that they worried about each other? That's what motivates me. I'm like, they ain't worried about each other. I ain't worried about you at all. All right. That's the main important thing, is where is your confidence at in your truth and what your desires are and what you want to put out there. So if you want to manifest a $200,000 gig that helps you travel for the next 2 years, what you waiting for? What? That's a lot of money. Work on your money mindset. There's no limit to what you're worth. Don't let no job, don't let yourself tell you that. And again, I get it. I'm here talking, but at the same time, I have done a lot of work. And recently, I told you I got a coach, And for the last month and a half, I've been working a lot on my relationship with money, right? And one of the things that she asked me to find out was my love language, and I shared this with my supportive community, gang, 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 because again, I practice what I preach. I ain't out here not asking for support. Okay. So, she said, "What's your love language?" And I found out that my number one love language is quality time. My least love language is words of affirmation, which makes a lot of sense. I don't need you to affirm me in a relationship or anything. I had a friend of mine that kept telling me, "You're so pretty. You're so right." And not on some extra shit like she was trying to date me, nothing. But she always kept validating me. And I didn't get it, right? Because I ain't never walk around saying, "I don't think I'm cute" or "I don't think I'm valuable." Like, not. So I was just wondering, did she want me to validate her and walk around saying that I don't, you should know, you should know. So words of affirmation, I take it, and some people think that I don't like taking compliments. It's not that. It's like I don't need it. I think I got a little too much. You know what I mean? But for the most part, words of affirmation was the least. But quality time, and what I recognize is that I wasn't spending time with my money, and it was a matter of who wasn't spending time with money when I was growing up. Oh, it got deep. And then I recognized that at some point I may be mirroring the exact same thing that my mother was doing at this age. That's where it went. And from there, I was able to rebuild, dismantle, rebuild, dismantle, rebuild. But did y'all see where that went? And now that's my own personal life. But I had to go all the way into recognizing that my mother was an unsuccessful entrepreneur because of the mindset that she had from Cuba. Nonetheless, she was an entrepreneur, but she was not successful because she didn't allow herself to. So she was at a limit. Y'all, hello, what's up, baby? Y'all see this? So it gets that deep. So I want you to really, one, be kind to yourself. All right, breathe. Be kind to yourself. Take fucking naps. I'm a napper. I think I be napping a little too much at times, right? But I think it's important. I always tell you these are my two favorite people that I always mention that reminded me to take naps was Einstein and I felt like that was my husband in another lifetime. What's his name? Nikola Tesla. Yes. Only because he was really smart. Like, I mean, we still using his technology today. Nikola. But I'm into all of that. And they took naps. You confused? Take a nap. You tired? Take a nap. Oh, I don't know how to take naps. You know who does, and we take it away from them? Kids. And a nap can literally be an hour. I would recommend 30 to 45 minutes because after an hour, you might just go down the deep end. And people who have stayed around me know I have a lot of alarms. I have an alarm for 3 o'clock. I have an alarm. I have an alarm. I don't care because I need to remind myself. We be so busy with other people's shit. All right. You been getting to bed early? Yes. Listen, let me recommend. They're not paying me for this, which they should, but I found that this has helped me. And once I used it like once or twice, I began to start going to sleep on my own, which was really good. Melatonin, right? This is Dr. Teal's sleep spray. Is the melatonin spray blend, lavender, chamomile, essential oils. Right? I know. I used to take the melatonin to go to sleep and things like that. And now that I don't have my dogs, but for the most part, this has helped me out. I barely use it. I take it on my trips because when you sleeping somewhere else, it's kind of hard to sleep. I'm trying to have a good time too. I'm not trying to wake up all moody on a trip. Ain't nobody got time for that. So the Dr. Teal spray was really good. You could either spray it on your body, you could spray it on your pillow. I mean, it knocks me out real quick. So I started doing that. And then also shut your phones down. A lot of times that is a distraction, although it is our form of information. At times that is also a way of us being distracted. So how can you shift away from that a little bit? This is the lady, and I spoke about this before, Mel, and she talks about the 5 minute or the 5 second waking up. So wake up in 5 seconds when you're feeling down and out, or when you want to do something, you just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we already know that, you confuse your subconscious mind and you say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And she also expressed to put the phone somewhere else that's not around you. A lot of y'all got them iPhone watches anyway, so y'all could put the iPhone watch somewhere near for the alarm to turn it off. But I would recommend the bathroom, because if we end up getting up and going to the bathroom anyways, you're going to be missing your phone. I know. Oh, you be all right. You be all right. That allows you to bring back your focus to yourself and remove yourself from comparing, any type of jealousy or any resentment or anybody interrupting your frame of manifestation. Let me see what y'all said. Oh, myself. I've been heavy on alarms lately. Yep. Because honestly, it's all about repetition. Once we get that repetitive action and turn it into a habit, we don't have to go that hard anymore, if that makes any sense. That spray alone with lotion and body scrub, night night. Yep. Yes, Gabby, I was gonna recommend that to you. The spray. Yes, yes, yes. I make my kids charge their phones in the kitchen, and my son called out one day. All right. So these are little tips that we're getting into so we can begin to prepare ourselves to focus on ourselves, learn how to get these energies. And I love the fact that many of y'all are out there getting this information. Whenever it comes to the full moon, we're going to do our talk after that. So I'll be sure to because I'm here to guide y'all, but it's to guide y'all to spark y'all up so that y'all can begin to start checking yourself out, seeing where this energy is at and where that energy is at. Why? Because at the end of the day, we all have it in different areas of our lives, and we're all not focusing on the same area, right? Which I had to say it the same way, different ways, so y'all can understand it. You get me? Got me good. We all may be in a space of thinking that we're working on our money mindset while somebody's working on their relationship with their parents. Another person is working on their actual relationship with their lover. Another one is working on their creative side. Another person is working on their personality. The moon for me was in my sixth house. My sixth house. And that had to do with the everyday activity, right? How am I gonna? And that's where I was at. I said that today on TikTok. I'm figuring out what my day-to-day activity is going to be. That's funny, right? And I'm like, oh my god, this is my aha moment. Because I don't have my dogs, so that they were the ones that helped me set my routines day to day. I would walk them, I would exercise. Now that that's not there, it's it's been a while, right? Right, 6 months. No, it's not a long time. I'll be acting like it. But at the same time, I've been doing other things to try and create a habit, but there hasn't been one that stuck. So I'm in that process right now. So within December and January, that's what I'm going to be doing. Am I going to beat myself up because I didn't follow it? No. But I'm giving myself options so that I can be able to understand what's going to stick. So give yourself options, right? And then again, sharing with people that's going to support you in the next version of yourself, while still being compassionate with those that are not. Does that mean that you have to talk to them every day? But have compassion for them too. Don't be mean. Because they're going through the same shit we going through. They may not just be, working on it. But we all going through it. All right, during the full moon, the last thing that I'm going to say is we had a energy flow when it came to Sagittarius, Pisces, and Gemini. There was a connection between them, but Virgo was missing. It's called a T square. And what that basically talks about is the energies that are in the mutable. Was it mutable? Yeah. Yes, the mutable energy, because you got the fixed and you got the cardinal. The mutable energy, they all was together except for one, which means it's like a chair in a sense. One leg is missing. So although the energy of being free, flowy, and wanting to not have been grounded has us slowing down a little bit because Virgo was on the other side of the chart doing its own thing. So again, there's some stuff that are missing during this time for us to take the next steps. Nonetheless, have faith that the next steps are going to show up by you allowing yourself to set the boundaries that you need to set with yourself first, right? What are your boundaries with yourself? What are you going to do to make sure that that person doesn't do that anymore? Or what are you going to do not to beat yourself up anymore or call yourself dumb or call yourself inadequate to handle money and all that other stuff? And then allow yourself to think big, big, big. Next year is the 8 year big. That means get out there and begin to connect with people that are going to take you places. Genuinely, just genuinely ask. For those of you who script, genuinely ask the universe to connect you to people. This full moon was a rough one. Just because we don't know what's next, but at the same time, it's like you know it's something big. So open yourself up and allow yourself to take it day by day. Go hug a fucking tree, ground yourself, breathe. Breathing is essential for our brain to get the oxygen that it needs to dismantle any fogginess. All right, spirit is here because y'all want to know a breathing technique? Come on, y'all ready? I have a roulette and burned it so I can stop letting people. Mm-hmm. All right, so let's do a breathing technique. Y'all can come back to this. So relax your shoulder. So this is going to say we had at your office, the doctor's office. I do this a lot, and I don't care if people look at me. You want to know why? Because, bitch, I'm breathing you away. All right, so you relax your shoulders. All right, and you're gonna close your eyes, and I want you to remember when you breathe in, your belly is going out, and that may be difficult for a lot of us. And when you breathe in, no, wait, no, I'm sorry. See, I'm already doing it the opposite way. When you breathe in, belly out. And when you breathe out, belly in to your spine. Breathe in, belly out. So we're going to do that really slow. And say you're at the doctor's office and there's a kid that's screaming, ah, right? You go ahead and you look at the kid first. Give him a look like, if your mother ain't going to shut you up, I'm going to do it with my thoughts, right? And then you relax your shoulders and then just go ahead and we're going to take a deep breath in and exhale with your mouth open. And make that noise so they can already know, oh, she's going to do something. Yeah. Inhale. Exhale. And drop your shoulders with that. Take a deep breath. Inhale. And exhale. Now on this last breath, we're going to take a deep breath and we're going to hold it. And exhale. You could do that one. And you could do it a couple of times. I would recommend doing that 8 times and you begin to start feeling your body relaxing. You can take the last one I'm going to give. Right? behind your ears, and you can start rubbing behind your ears, and that's where uh, there's a nerve there that helps us relax. It starts with a P. I forgot the name of it, but because I be getting into all the neurologistical shit, but I ain't got it today. So it's behind here, and you can rub that, right? Try some breathing exercises that's really gonna help us out while you driving, while you're shifting through your emotions. Breathing is really gonna help us out right now. All right. I holla at y'all. I love y'all. And I will be back tomorrow morning because I'm going to talk about December. December's already here. We got a lot of shit that's coming up. A lot of good stuff. Give me a hug. I'm very touchy feely today. I love y'all.